Hello, welcome to the Mal and Val Show. I'm Mal.
And I'm Val.
And this is our show where we just talk about pop culture stuff because we're hilarious. So we'll just get into it. Our first topic of discussion. Oh, also too, we have our tea. Do you have your?
I have water.
Okay, our water, but it's in mugs, so it's kind of like tea, just fun, catchy thing. Okay, so our first topic is the coronavirus feelings. Val, how do you feel about this?
Lockdown, pretty locked down, but
Mm-hmm.
a little worried, I will say.
Really? Okay, why?
It's just, I don't know. This is my field, like the whole epidemiology thing.
Makes me worried that you're worried because it's your field.
Yeah, and I'm not an epidemiologist yet and everything. I learned about it. I'm about to graduate and everything, but it's just not, I don't see it, at least yet, like getting better, or I guess in the speed that I would want to see it. Like I don't know what they told you, but they just told us in Florida that we have to be, at least the kids are not going to go to school until like May 1st. And I'm not going back to work for another 3 weeks. And then I heard that Virginia's not going out until, what is it, June 1st?
Yeah, no, Virginia's out till June 11th or 10th, I believe. And right now I'm in Charlotte. And Charlotte, we've been on lockdown for a week. So like you cannot leave unless you have like a little essential paper that says you're essential. Or if you're going to the grocery, I'm assuming like if they like pull you over, you can say, oh, I was going to the grocery store or something like that. But like they are like super on top of it. Like you cannot leave. Like on the news yesterday, they were talking about how people were going to like the parks, which makes sense because like, oh, everybody's out of school, you're not doing anything, let's just go to a park and get some fresh air. But the problem is everybody's going, so the whole social distancing thing isn't working because everybody's there, everybody had the same idea. So they're thinking about shutting that down too.
Oh, wow. I think they shut down most of the parks in my area. Like the walking, where you take your dog. I don't have a dog, but where you take your dog, it's shut down. So people are like, where do I take my dog? I don't know. I got worried when work told me I have to be working from home for another 3 weeks because I was really looking forward to going back to my office just because I feel like it's so much fun. Yeah. I mean, I like being home. Don't get me wrong, but it just makes it more real, I guess that's what I'm saying. Like at the beginning, I was trying to be optimistic and be like, it's fine, we're going to be fine. But it's just, and obviously I'm in Florida. People don't pay attention. There's people at the beach, like right now.
Yeah.
So, like our state doesn't really listen. So, like I went to Costco today. It was packed. People were touching their phones with the gloves that they were using outside. So it's just a little worrisome for most of us.
Yeah. Florida, I don't know what y'all are gonna, I don't know what y'all gonna do about that.
Oh, no, nothing.
I don't see you guys following the rules at all.
We're trying not to, like really trying not to. Like the governor is just like, we'll just stretch another 2 weeks. And then Trump's like, no, a couple months. And then Florida's like, nah, a couple weeks. And then we have like a huge hurricane season coming in too.
Oh yeah.
Like really bad. So there's not going to be any toilet paper in a couple weeks.
Yikes.
No toilet paper. So.
Yikes. So are you guys having a bunch of deaths in Florida or not really?
A lot of what?
A bunch of deaths. Like a lot of people dying in Florida. Because, there's tons dying in New York. But, like, there's certain states that are, it's like, I hate to say, like, just a few here, a few there. Is it kind of like that in Florida?
To be honest, I haven't kept track of that as much. From what I've heard from my mom, the number keeps increasing. I mean, and I guess it could make sense because we have a large elderly population in Florida.
Oh, yeah.
So it would make sense if there's more here than in other states. I would hope it gets better soon, or at least the numbers don't keep freaking everybody out. Because at least, I don't know, my parents are Hispanic and they just watch like those Hispanic news. They were testing some lemons the other day. I don't know what for. Apparently it was a cure.
Okay. Yes. My mom, she sent me that thing where it's like, if you drink water every 15 minutes, you'll like destroy the virus. And she's like, make sure you're drinking water. I'm like, this isn't That's not
That's just the
real.
TP companies trying to make more money.
Yeah, that's not, that's not real. And the funny / sad part is, like, our parents are the target market for stuff like that, and they'll just sit there and believe it. Oh yeah, of course, we gotta do that.
They really are. I've been grocery shopping with them like many times, and my dad's like, we have to get a whole cow, and I'm like, for what? We can still go grocery shopping next week. Like, it's gonna be fine. But
yeah,
gotta let them freak out.
Yeah, I know. I try to like be like, well, that's not realistic. That's not logical. So how about you just drink water because, and we keep washing our hands and, these other things.
Just be normal. Just don't leave the house.
Yeah. Yeah. Only leave when it's necessary. Like, you don't have to do anything extra.
Oh, yeah.
So, yeah. So what is your favorite conspiracy theory about this?
Honestly, the whole population control in China. Have you heard that one?
I don't think I've like heard people say it's population control, but then my whole argument to that was like, oh gosh, how do I say this in a very sensitive way? If you're going to control the population, I feel like you should control it for, how do I say this? Like people who are a little more fertile. The fertile people, yes.
Like the younger people?
Yes.
I get that, and I get why you would want it to be like, but I think China's thinking, and again, this is not going to sound sensitive at all. They're thinking like, oh, this virus is specifically going to attack a lot to those that are older, the older ones, the ones that are like, in the last couple steps, which sounds horrible because, but I think it's a conspiracy theory that it would make sense. That, I'll get rid of this people that we don't need anymore. They're not gonna be here in 10 years anyways. I don't know. And what's yours? What's your favorite?
Okay. What is my favorite? I probably should have thought of this before I asked the question. Well, first of all, my mind has been going crazy because at first I was like, everybody's freaking out. They want us to freak out. That's just the government trying to control us. And then people stopped freaking out for a little bit. Because remember when we were in DC, I feel like everybody was like chill about it. I was like, oh, well, then if everybody's telling us to stop freaking out, then should we be freaking out? Because like, you don't go, all this stuff.
Yeah.
So I guess my favorite conspiracy theory is that it has something to do with the election and that it backfired. Because this is an election year. So now I think it is very American of us to think that this thing has something to do with us when it's affecting the entire world.
Yeah.
But I don't know, I feel like it is a little suspicious. So that's my whole thing too. Like, I don't like the idea of the government telling us we cannot leave, we cannot do X, Y, and Z. I do think it is your social responsibility because you like people and because you are a decent human being to comply. So I feel like we should have already did it before the government had to make mandates. That's just my personal belief.
I agree with
that. And I think that's, I think that's two things can be true. And I think I posted this on Facebook the other day. Like, one, that like this is very suspicious. Like, okay, that's election year, like a lot going on. Oh, actually, I just thought of another thing too. The other aspect, my other favorite one is that you're gonna hate this. Is that this is to get us to take the vaccine so that we can get chips in us to start the one world order that will issue in the Antichrist.
I don't hate the idea because it's honestly very realistic. It's very realistic because guess who's freaking out too? Like those anti-vaccine people they're not putting essential oils in their hands as hand sanitizers at the moment.
That's a very good point.
Like, I think even crazy people like that would go ahead and be like, oh yeah, I don't want to get corona, let me go get a vaccine. Even if they don't believe in them or whatever, but I think that's a reasonable one. And the whole elections one, I kind of like that one. That would make a good movie.
Yeah, it would. My only thing about it is, I feel like it's very American selfish for us to think that it's our election is so important that like it would affect the entire world. I mean, it does though, like, you know, not
in a way, yeah.
Yeah. But I do think that that's a little bit like, okay, y'all, you're just America, calm down. Even though I love this country.
Honestly,
yeah.
when you were saying that, oh, I wasn't freaking out at the beginning, I think that's how I was, and I kind of still am. I'm trying not to freak out. To be honest, I freaked out more about the whole lion situation and the tigers. I freaked out more about
wait. Are you talking about Joe?
Tigers. Yes.
Oh, yes. Okay, yes. We're going to get there. We'll get there. We'll get there. We'll get there.
We'll get there when we get there. But that freaked me out a little bit more. I was just
really?
More mindful. Yeah, because how we'll get to it. We'll get to
it. Okay, so the next question or topic is, what are you doing to, like, how are you handling all this? What are you doing to keep the time?
Well, I work from home. So I wake up and I start answering emails like at 8:39 from bed. I don't have to get up or do anything at least. So I'm pretty much working / work. I'm also doing like an internship / practicum that is needed for my graduation. So I'm working on those things. Those two keep me very busy.
Yeah, for sure.
From like 8 to 5. And then I also teach labs. I don't know if I told you, I teach chemistry labs at my school.
I didn't know that. So you're still doing that over
remotely.
Okay. Now, how do you use, because don't you have to use like experimental stuff?
Yeah.
And how do you teach that without a lab?
You don't. You literally don't. Like, what we have to do now is like, we get the results and we give them to the students. And we're like, okay, here's the answers. Figure it out.
Okay.
Which brings my 50 students to spam my inbox every day.
Okay.
That keeps me busy, and I've been cleaning my room, which is the reason why I got allergies and all that stuff, because it was messy. So I'm not showing you like beyond this corner of my room because that looks like hurricane season. It's just chaotic. I'm never buying anything again. I buy way too much.
You say that now.
Yeah, I will buy stuff when this is over. But
that's like one of the first things I want to do is go shopping. Like we don't know what we have until it's gone.
Yeah, I just miss going to like TJ Maxx.
Yeah.
So, I live right next to one, and it's honestly torture having it right there.
Yeah, Hobby Lobby. Like, I just discovered there's a Hobby Lobby down the street from my house. Did not know that. And I was like, oh, I cannot wait. You know what? I'll be here. I'll just go. And then like, oh, nope, shut down.
They're not doing like the pickup. You just pull up and.
There's an entire so it's a shopping center near my house, and it has a Hobby Lobby, a TJ Maxx, a Ross, a Home Goods, a Petco, and then something else. And that whole shop, I think it might be the owners of the shopping center, because that whole shopping center is like shut down. Like, nobody can go. Yeah, like Charlotte's taking it very, very seriously. And then I think the governor said the whole state of North Carolina is shut down too.
So the only thing open by my house is like the Costco and the Publix and the dollar store. And that's it. So like regular stuff, nothing fun.
Right. Yeah, like our grocery stores are open. We got a Publix like 5 or 6 years ago. So our grocery stores are open, and then the like pet stores are open, except for that one. The pet stores are open because, and I found out when I bought some fish, like swimming, look at fish. Not like eating fish. Just to clarify. When I bought some fish, I found out because pet stores, stuff like that, are considered essential because they have food for your animals.
That would make sense.
Yeah.
That would make sense, yeah. Even though I would think like, they would just settle with the supermarkets because I know they carry.
Oh, yeah.
But just like, now that I think about it, it's just like dog food and cat food. But if you have a fish,
right,
or an iguana, what do you do? So that makes sense.
Or a bird.
A bird, yeah. I don't have any pets, so.
Oh, I had to get a fish because I was just like, I need something to.
You had to get a fish.
I had to. I needed something to like. I don't know. Like I'm just like first of all, I'm an extrovert. Second of all, I hate being like not busy and just being alone and all this. So this has just been like why is this happening? Like, please stop. Everybody go home. Like, just go home for 2 weeks. They said, well, I guess now it's for a month. Go home for however long they say to go home for. Mm-hmm. And then we'll solve the conspiracy theories afterwards. Because I'm in like this group chat and people were like going back and forth over like, well, this is, and we're giving, and it's like, let's just figure this out. Let's just get rid of this virus, and then we'll all, storm the castle at the end for the higher beings or whoever did this for doing this to us. Like, let's just go ahead and get this over with. Because the quicker we can get this over with, the quicker we can go back to our normal lives. And I mean, the economy, like.
Oh, yeah. I heard the unemployment was like 32% at the moment.
Yeah.
That's crazy. It was at 3% in February. Like,
yeah. Well, I mean, I'm unemployed now. I worked at the library at my school.
That's right.
Yes. I worked at the library at my school. So now, and then I texted my boss and was like, so, like, are you guys going to, some businesses are still paying their employees.
Yeah.
And she basically said no. So, and then what sucks is I'm in college, so grad school, so I can't get the $1,200.
Really? That's why? Wait, I'm in grad school. Oh,
you can't get it either.
Rude. That's rude. I'm in debt.
I know. Who do I call? Like, I need to call Trump right now and explain to him that this doesn't work for me.
Wouldn't you think like the students are the ones that need the money? The students that were kicked out of their dorms?
That's what I'm saying. Like, I feel like I needed more than that CEO that's still working, like.
I had a student that emailed me because she doesn't live here. She lives in Dominican Republic.
Oh, and my.
She's like, hey, I know we have an assignment due next week or tomorrow, but I literally have nowhere to go. Is it okay if I get an extension? And I was like, of course. Let me know when you're home, I guess. Yeah. Like, just let me know. Get home. She's like, I'm trying to get a plane back home, but I can't.
Yeah.
Like, I had kids. Well, I didn't have kids, but like my school was telling me that they had kids homeless for a couple days. Yeah. They just kicked them out because at the beginning they were like, "Oh, it's fine, stay in your dorm," and then like last minute it's like, get out of the dorms. Like,
that's what my school did too. Like all that week they were like, oh, we'll be fine. Like one of the headlines was like, stay the course, it'll be fine. And then like it was that Saturday before we had to come back from spring break, they were like, get out, you don't have to stay here, but you got to get your stuff and leave our buildings. And I was like, all right then.
Oh wow,
let me get out. But they gave us 6 days. I will be grateful for that because I know there are some schools that give them like 48 hours. And that's just unrealistic, and that's just not fair. Yeah.
That's not, especially, I don't know how they do in your school, but like in my school, they have dorms that are individual rooms. Like it's a big apartment with 4 individual rooms for 4 kids. I don't get the urgency of kicking them out if they have their little space. Just don't leave your dorm.
I lived in an apartment. Like it was like a full blown. Like I had a kitchen. I had a bath. I had my own bathroom. I had like my own like I lived in an actual apartment. And like the whole half of so I lived in like the grad housing. So it's split up into like undergrad housing and the undergrad apartments and grad apartments. So all of the grad apartments were like mine. So you're right. Like they could have at least been like, hey, let's take your I don't know. It's just a mess. I do so half of me is like, they handle this terribly, down with the universities. But the other half is like, I don't know how I would have, I don't know the solution. I don't know what should have been done. So I guess I can't be too mad at them. But it's just like, the homeless people, having students homeless now, that's just too much. I
wouldn't kick them. I like you said, I wouldn't know what to do because that's being the what's it called, the president or the dean of students. I would probably freak out and have a couple panic attacks. But at the same time, I wouldn't take it to. I know at least I wouldn't take it to the limit of I don't care, just get out of the dorm. I don't care if you're homeless.
Right.
Okay, you can get home now, especially for international students or people that live across the country. Okay, we'll give you a week extension if you need to get a plane or a drive back home.
Yeah, I know at my school you had to have really extenuating circumstances. So I think honestly, the girl that lived in the Dominican Republic, she probably would have been able to stay. Well, I don't know. I don't know. But I do know, but you had to, like, meet these requirements. Like, it wasn't just like, I don't want to leave. Okay, cool. It was like, well, why can't you? And blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
Type of situation. But, I mean, it's crazy. It's just really crazy.
Yeah, no, it's, like I said, it's just taken to a whole other level that I didn't expect it, at least.
Yes. Right. I didn't expect that either. Because, like, I remember when Ebola, like, that was a couple years ago.
When was that? Like, exactly. I don't know why I don't have a timeline in my head.
It was World Cup or the Olympics.
Like 2014?
Yes. Or maybe the one before that.
I know soccer. I should know when the last World Cup was. Okay, maybe I don't know.
Well, either way, it was around that time because I'm thinking of Zika because I remember some team couldn't go somewhere because it was a big thing. Anyway, I remember like the point is like there's been things kind of sort of like this and I just don't remember people like reacting this way. So that's the other reason why like I'm not freaking out. I'm just more of like, oh, this is a huge inconvenience. Like some things have changed that I didn't want to change, you know.
Yeah.
But I definitely don't feel as like la-di-da-di-da as I did before. I will say that.
Oh no, you said it that you're an extrovert and you like miss going out and like probably being out just in general. Like at least I consider myself an introvert, and as much as I like to be home, I also did a lot of things outside of my house that I just miss. And I guess it was kind of like therapy, like just walking around Target or just just running errands alone was like a therapy to me. And right now I can't go and do anything or like go to the gym and know that the gym is there.
Yes. I'm like going crazy. I shared the story on Facebook. I don't know if you saw it, but like yesterday I was walking around my neighborhood and there was this black cat.
Oh, I saw it.
And it was like looking at me and we were like staring at each other. And then it started walking and then it would like look back at me. And then it would walk a little more and look back at me. Just because my life has been so boring. I was like, now do I follow this cat? Is the cat asking me to go with it? If I follow this cat, is it like a new adventure? Like, and I followed it for like 10 seconds. I was like, let me stop because it's probably going to turn around and bite me. But yeah, that was just like that's where my head is too because I've been doing a lot of reading too and I like watch a lot of TV and I'm like into all that fantasy stuff. So like, you know, that cat could have like been taking me to another portal to like Narnia or something and
I'm still looking for Narnia. Let me know whenever you find it. I'm still looking.
But yeah. All right. So our main topic, what we will talk the most about, is the amazing Netflix show Tiger King. Spoilers ahead. If you have not seen it, I would stop watching the video. It is an amazing show. You're missing out. You totally should watch it. Let's discuss. All right. Initial thoughts.
Wow. How is he not from Florida? Still confused about that. The weirdest thing about the show is that it's in Oklahoma.
Oh, for sure.
It's just in Oklahoma. Another thought, Carol killed her husband.
Oh, for sure.
No and doubt. Free my man, John.
Joe, but yes.
Yeah, Joe, yes. Free my man, Exotic. Like, yes. Exotic 2024. The fact that he ran for president. And I remember seeing his videos. That's the worst part. When I came out on the documentary, I was like, why have I seen this man before?
Yes, I saw. So, like, when they showed the video that he used, I was like, oh, my, I remember this. I remember it, like, in the very back, because, like, you know, it was like, ah, ha, ha. Like, nobody really, like, took it seriously. And I'm like, whoa, Joe.
And then he ran for governor. And he
no. Poor campaign manager.
Huh?
I said the poor campaign manager. Like,
you saw him. Did you see the scene that he's like, it's the worst decision of my life, and he like now I lost it, but oh my god.
Yes.
Yeah, but he looks traumatized, the campaign manager.
Oh, I'm sure he is. Aside from seeing someone, like, shoot themselves, I mean, I'm sure Joe, like, put him through the ringer. Like, it was probably stressful. He probably said, don't do this, and Joe went ahead and did it. He probably said, do this, and Joe did the exact opposite, like that. I mean, that's stressful, too.
He probably tried to marry his campaign manager at this point. Just in case. I don't know. Just in case.
I mean, that's a very good point. I mean, that everything else I liked about him, his tendencies to be with men that weren't attracted to him bothered me a little. A lotto probably is a better. A lotto. That was a little bit much, especially, and then like at the end when the guy was like, and now I'm married to a woman, I was like, I figured that.
He was married to the secretary, like, someone who was there the whole time.
That's right. I'm like, I kind of figured that. But honestly, like, the kid, the 19-year-old that killed himself, honestly, like, when he told the story about the whole, like, porn thing, I was like, okay, wait a minute, I mean, I'm sorry, that's not a good, you made a huge leap there.
Yeah. I mean, when the girl was telling the story of, like, Joe didn't think Joe or John, I keep forgetting.
Joe.
Joe didn't think he was like straight, and we were driving, and he asked him like, "Oh, how straight are you?" And the guy's like, "I'm pretty straight." He's like, and then he asked him about what porn he watches, and he watches that, and I was just like, okay, now he's stretching it. But this guy had meth, so.
And I mean, that was the sad part about it, because to me, at least from the outside looking in, it was obvious they were with him because he had money and because he could provide drugs. Okay. And that's sad. Like, it's sad for both parties, because clearly this man wanted to be loved. I mean, this man craved love. And then second, like, they were so addicted to, like, a substance that they would do whatever. That's sad.
I mean, I don't know. The whole show, it's just such a roller coaster of emotions. When the girl got her arm bit off.
And then he just goes out and he's like, so by the way, I'm sorry to tell y'all, someone's arm came off. You can get your money back, or you can chill here. Like, I was like, wait.
Then everyone's just like. The best part though, it's like the girl gets his arm bitten off. He's talking to the customers. First thing he does, he changes to his EMS jacket, or EMT jacket. He's like, I'm ready. And he doesn't do anything. He's just holding her arm. And the girl's sitting on the floor like,
I know, she was frozen. And honestly, what a trooper, because she came back, what was it, like 5 days after she had the surgery?
Like a week after it happened. I'm just like,
yeah. Okay. Let me tell you, would not be me. Would not be me.
I mean, I don't know what, she was just loyal to this man, like to the end of time. Even though he was feeding her old Walmart meat.
Yeah, she was the best character, or the best, I don't know.
Her and the other guy, the long blonde, like the one that's like, I don't care how many wives that man has.
Oh, the movie guy? The one who's filming the documentary?
No. He works at the zoo too. He's this blonde, skinny. He made a lot of funny commentary.
Yes.
I forgot his name.
Yeah, you're right. Those were the two best ones. The documentary guy was pretty good too. They
were all good, really.
So the guy who framed Joe, don't like him.
Of course. Oh yeah, no, the one who which one?
The wife.
Oh, the wife. Yeah.
So when they said they would bring the tigers into the hotel in Vegas to get girls to come to their room, I was like, what does it say about me that I would totally, if someone said, I have a tiger in my room, I was like, oh, okay, let's go.
I was thinking about that, because when I was in Vegas a couple of years ago, I was like, I was 20 years old when I was there. If I saw a tiger, a baby white tiger sitting across the bar, I would go.
Yeah.
I would have gone.
Yeah.
At the tiger? Yes. Yeah. Please. Kidnap me.
Right.
Go.
Hang out with me when this baby tiger, of course, when, where, what time, you need me to change? Like, what do I need to do? Like,
I'll go with this 50-year-old man. Just let me pet the tiger. Like, that's all I want.
Right.
That's what I came to Vegas for. Like, that's the worst part. Is like, oh yeah, I would totally fall for that. 100%.
Oh, me too.
100%.
I mean, honestly, I was like, oh, go ahead.
Oh no, go ahead.
I was saying I was watching that, the whole scene and everything that was happening. I was like, well, that looks fun. Like, and I know that wasn't like the point, but I was like, that looks really fun.
They were showing the party buses with the tigers, and I was like, that looks great. Can I get a group on in that? Like, how can I join that?
No, but for real though, like that just, and honestly, I kind of want a baby tiger now. Like I don't know if that was the point of the show, but that's definitely what I got out of it.
Remember the guy who's like a drug dealer? He was the most calm one out of all the characters. He's the one in Miami, the drug dealer, who was a drug dealer. He went to jail for 12 years.
Yes!
I live down the street.
No, you don't.
Yes, I do. I live like 20 minutes away from him. Like, I've driven by his house multiple times. Because the whole petting zoo thing that he has is super popular here. My dad wanted to do it last year for his birthday.
That's hilarious.
Literally, it's right there. I can take you. It's right there.
Hilarious.
And when I saw the footage in the video, I was like, huh, that street looks familiar. And that's when I looked and was like, oh man, this is the guy from ZWF. Like, everyone goes to pet like tigers there all the time. And it's like, that makes sense. Makes sense.
That's crazy. Wow. I want to go though. Like, I saw actually like a place in Myrtle Beach. I saw them on Instagram, and it's like you pet a tiger. I think you pet like a leopard too or something. And I'm like,
the Doc's place?
Fun. It's a what?
Is it Doc's place? Doc, what is it?
No, it's not his. Actually, it could be under a different name though. I thought about that.
Didn't his get shut down like last December?
I think so. But what these people probably do is redo them in a different name, which, I mean, it makes sense. I would. Like, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Like, just.
What do you do with all those tigers? Like, just.
Right. And then it's crazy that there's more tigers and, like, being domesticated, I guess. I don't know. That's not the right word.
I think so.
And then in the wild, that was wild too. Like, I was like, what?
It said something like there's only 4,000 out in the wild, but there's like, okay, don't get my number. It's like maybe 10 times that in captivity.
Yeah, that's crazy.
So now I'm just like wondering which of my crazy neighbors has a tiger at this point. Because, okay, like, I don't know, you've never been like in my house, but like I live in a very, I guess, what's it called? Suburban area. But if you go south, like 15, 20 minutes, you're like in the fields. Huge houses hidden between trees. That's where this drug person lives there. So I'm like, okay, who has a freaking elephant down here? Like everyone probably has a wild animal.
I mean, that's like, I'm seriously considering it because, I mean, in the video, they said they're only about $2,000. And that, you know, you don't have to be a millionaire to have $2,000. No. Like, I feel like that's attainable. Now,
there's puppies that are more expensive than that.
Yeah. Oh, I used to want a miniature Pomeranian, and miniature Pomeranians are $6,000. So that's.
I want a French bulldog, and those are $8,000 worth. 8,000. Yeah.
Yeah. So there's dogs more expensive than these tigers, but I saw the problem is once they get bigger, how much they eat.
You saw.
What'd you say?
You saw that it's like $10,000 to feed one?
Yeah.
Like, good, to feed them nicely.
Yeah. So in my head, I'm like, you know, I'll be relatively richish. I'll raise it till it's a little too big. And then when it's too big, I don't want to give it to Carol.
No.
I don't know. I'm sure there's other places that take them. I think I just give it to them. I give it to them for free, you know? Tell the cat goodbye. I would never kill it. Tell it goodbye, and then, you know, move on with my life. Yeah. But I would love to have like a baby one. The problem is though, you know, babies grow, so I definitely couldn't keep it forever.
They grow really fast. I think like within 12 weeks they said in the video
Oh yeah, they're no longer babies in 12, or they can bite in 12 weeks or something like that. That's what it said. I think or something like that.
They're so cute.
I know. I really like. I'm telling you, like watching it, I was like, oh God, I want one.
I love tigers. Are like my favorite, I guess, exotic animal. My favorite animal are dogs in general, but crazy pet that I wish I would have is a tiger. Like
Yeah,
Jasmine with her tiger just flowing around.
and that's what the guy said. Like everybody's dream is like low key to have a tiger, and that's so like especially after watching this, like that's definitely like low key on my dream board. Like if I don't get it, I'm not gonna cry, but like if I can, I definitely will.
Like in a fantasy world, if I get to have things that I want, I would want a pet tiger, like a couple, not just one.
Right.
Give me a couple.
Yeah. Okay, the only reason I want one is because I want to test out one and see how I do, and then maybe get a few more, maybe. But like I want to start off slow, cause it did look like it get a little bit out of control. That's another lesson I learned. Like when he shot at the tiger, it came at his leg or something. That was wild.
That was crazy, yeah. But
it was, and we saw him, like I feel like we saw him descend into madness, I guess, because like everything was good, and then when the whole money thing happened after his campaign, it just seemed like he just went downhill, and I feel sad for him.
It was really sad. It was really sad to see him go, because I think that I don't know if Netflix made that trying to make us not like Joe and go for Carol, because
I think it was supposed to do that. I think so.
But I think it was, I never at one point I was like, oh yeah, this guy Joe is not good. He's crazy. He's a little crazy. He's missing a couple things. But he looks like, I don't know, like he's so lovable. Like I just feel for him.
Right.
I want to give him a hug.
Yes, same.
I think that's all. Like, and Carol, she can go like I don't know.
Well, other than the fact that she was, low-key annoying, my thing is Carol was literally doing the exact same thing, but she's marketing. It's all about marketing.
Marketing.
Exact same thing, but she's marketing it as something that's really nice and really like, hello, cat and kittens. And she gets volunteers where Joe pays his people at the very least. He pays people, Carol gets volunteers. 1 second, Val. Excuse me, I'm recording. Please lower your voice. Okay, I'm back. So yeah, Carol just gets volunteers, so she kind of sort of has this. So here, oh good, he's not even in the shot. Okay, so Carol has these volunteers, so she's basically tricking people to do her stuff. Like, I mean, it's the exact same thing, but she had this whole I'm better, I'm holier than thou attitude about it. It's ridiculous.
I never understood it, because when they were first, in the very first episode talking about Carol, I thought, what's it called? Big tiger, big lion, big cat
rescue. Mm-hmm.
Cat rescue. I thought it meant like they literally rescue the cats and they take them to, I don't know,
Amazon.
Nature, yeah. They just release them.
Nature.
Maybe they train them so they are adapted to like hunt for their food, and then they set them to the wild. But she just takes them from a really nice big cell. I guess you could say like the one Joe had. He had a lot, but he honestly had them pretty good. Like they were in a space.
Yeah.
And then what does Carol do? She wants to grab these tigers and put them in another cell that's honestly not as nice as the one that they would typically be.
No. And then people still come and what sold me that she was no different was people still came and toured. She still charged people to come and tour her little facility. I'm like, you're no different. Like, I think she just picked someone to pick on, I guess. I don't know. And
no, I saw a post that it was saying like that Carol was just trying to get rid of her competition. I think she couldn't get rid of Doc, and where is he, in South Carolina?
Yeah, Doc.
She couldn't get rid of him because he was just the top, and his place was really nice. Like from what we saw in the video, I would go.
Oh yeah, I kind of want to. We should do a trip one day.
Yeah, let's go. But that's support. Like he even said in his videos like he was paying, like not paying, but like giving these animals like really good meat, and he's like, a human would want to eat what I give my tigers, and he kind of knew what he was doing better than Carol, obviously, and better than Joe because he didn't have the resources, I think. But Carol went for Joe because he's like, I can't take this guy down, but if I take this other weak guy down, maybe Doc will be taken care of by himself.
Yeah.
But.
Yeah. That is a very good point. And she hopped on the social media train pretty early too. And I think that was very smart of her, because that's kind of how you build brands and stuff. And everybody's now into this save the animals thing, which is, you know, good. We have the million over the world, take care of it, blah blah blah. But like it's very I don't know, I feel it's very market, it's kind of fluff now. Like when people say that, I'm like, oh, okay, yeah. Like I don't, or when companies say like, oh, I'm green, or I'm donating to the wildlife, blah blah blah, I'm like, oh, okay, that's just because, you know, people like it, so then you're going to do it. So, but she hopped on that before it started, so it seemed like she was like the innovator. So like she was the one that like started it, and like, look at my cats. My cats are in a cell, but you know, I'm nice. I wear flowers. I don't know. She's just.
I don't know. I like even she wasn't even like trying, at least in the episodes, because I felt bad because at least like the tigers and the lions that she had, they would have to go through like, I don't know if you noticed, they were in this cell, but then they would have like a smaller compartment that they would have to get into to get their water and get their food.
I saw that.
They were like hamsters or cats, like actual cats.
I saw that.
While Joe had like these giant fields, and he would literally just throw food, and which is better at the end of the day than having to train them like dogs.
Yeah. Yeah, and the thing that like really bothered me, I think the most about her, aside from her like sketchy, or aside from her like trying to get rid of Joe, was she just kept laughing about her husband, and I just thought that was so. And I get people handle grief differently, but every time it was coming, no, how could I? I couldn't do that. I wouldn't do that.
But if you do want to get eaten by tigers, you would just, you know, throw some sardine oil on you. Don't ask how I know that. Like, you know that she said that, right?
Yeah. Like that was just like, oh man, that's a little sketch. Like you didn't.
I just felt really bad for the guy's like daughters and the ex-wife.
I know. Especially the ex-wife, because Carol just came in one day, some young little thing, and took. Well, I mean, you know, it's the man's fault as well. Like, you know, if a man cheats on you, it's the guy's fault. But, you know, I can still have sympathy for the wife, the ex-wife. She seems so like, she seems so heartbroken. Like that was.
They were high school sweethearts. But the ex and the guy, and I don't know. I really want to think, and they reopened the case for her.
I know. Good,
yeah, but I hope they figure out if she killed him, and if she didn't, I'm sure she still did something against him. And
for sure.
Even if she didn't kill him, if he ran away to Costa Rica or whatever, she still played with the papers to make sure she got 90% of his money. Because I'm sure he did not leave her 90% of the money.
My friend has a theory. He told me this on Saturday. He thinks that they're in it together, and he just ran away. And because they changed the disappeared from dead to disappeared, and then he said all of a sudden now she wants to share a little bit with her family, with his kids, who would want to, like, she wouldn't want to do that. He would probably want that as opposed to her. So he thinks she's just in Costa Rica just chilling. I was like, I guess that's fair. Like, that's an interesting argument. That'd be hilarious though if he is, and he's like watching, and he watched like the documentary. Oh my goodness, what if he like watched a documentary with like his new wife, and she didn't know all this, and then like watching it together, and she's like, hey, is that you? Is that you?
I hope Joe watched this whole thing.
Me too.
Like he would get a kick out of it to know that. I mean, he wanted to be famous and all of this for so long, and now he's literally like the top topic on Twitter.
Yeah.
And he's probably the top country singer at the moment.
Yeah. Oh, is he on Spotify?
Yeah, I think so.
I'm going to find him on Spotify. Another thing I did, don't know why I did it, but I did it. I followed the latest husband on Instagram. Dylan.
He has an Instagram?
He has an Instagram.
I know he got his teeth fixed, which is great news.
The latest husband, Dylan? No, not that one. But that's good to hear about that one. Yeah. I'm talking about the one at the very, very end, like in the last episode, that's young. He's like, his name is Dylan. Super cute.
Dylan, I forgot he got married again.
Super cute. Yeah, I followed him on Instagram.
What does he post like?
Party stuff. He parties.
He's young, so
He's
I'll
young.
give him that. Yeah.
I feel like he's younger than us.
Is
So
he?
I think so. Maybe not, because he did have a beer in his hand. And like one of the posts on his Instagram story was like, they're talking about Tiger King. They don't know who I am or something like that. Like the people he was hanging out with. And I was like, that's hilarious. Like,
Well, he was only there for like the last bite of it. And I honestly, if I saw him in person, I wouldn't recognize him. Like I don't have an image for him like I do for Travis or the other husband or all the other workers from the zoo.
Yeah. Right. Yeah, I remember I was like, oh, he looks really cute. And then I typed because like after I watch shows or movies and stuff, I usually like do a little bit of like, oh, what's on YouTube about it, or so I just typed in the guy's name because I'm like, wait, are they still married? And then I saw a bunch of articles about him, and then that's when I found his Instagram. I was like, oh my goodness, this guy is like he's just living his life. Like it's very interesting.
Are they still married?
Yeah, like low key Val, like. I could see him hanging out with us, like from what I've seen. I could see him like hanging out with us in DC.
Really?
Not shenanigans. The shenanigans part, not the political.
Well, the shenanigans, I don't think we have like a category.
That's true too.
Of people, like it's really whoever wants to.
That's a very good point. That is a very good point.
I think we should probably get a category. We should probably get one.
Probably.
But you know, we've had our share.
I feel like accepting everyone hasn't really gotten us in trouble so far. Not
just headaches.
Yeah.
Just headaches, not trouble.
Yeah. Oh my goodness. Okay. I'm thinking about, yeah. All right. Yeah, that was kind of a headache. That was a mess. Okay. Anyway.
I mean, at least with you, it hasn't gotten you to trouble. Yeah. I feel like, I've been going to these things for a while.
That's true. It's a little different for you.
I haven't gotten into trouble, like, personally, because I keep my butt safe. Yeah. But I've seen trouble, and it's entertaining, honestly.
Oh, I'm sure it is, especially not being in it. Oh,
yeah, it's like reality TV all over again. It's like, sure, do whatever you want, but
yeah, no problem. Yeah. Well, yeah. All right. Any other final thoughts on Tiger King?
I hope they do the season 2, like they said.
Me too.
That would be great. I was rewatching it with my dad, and I had to explain to him because he's like, wait, where does he live? And I'm like, oh, it's Oklahoma. He's like, where's that? I'm like, doesn't matter. He's like, right. Then he sees him kissing a man. He's like, he's gay? And I'm like, yeah, he's gay. He's like, but he has a gun. And I'm like, yeah, he does. And then he sees like the whole wedding scene with the 2 husbands. And he's like, is that his son? I'm like, that's his husband. And it's just been a whole like explaining situation. Then he asked when the whole scene of running for president, and they're like, oh, I ran as a libertarian. And my dad really only pays attention to the 2 main parties, like 99% of the world. Yeah. And he's like, wait, what's the difference about libertarians? And I'm like, libertarians are that. That is the difference. Like, they think they are Ron Swanson, but they're really just Joe Exotic.
That is hilarious.
They're really, and I love it. Love that for them. I hope their new flag or symbol is like a tiger.
That would be, I mean.
Just shooting an idea. If you see them change logos.
I would have loved to see him in a debate with Gary Johnson. That would have just been.
I would
pay too. I would pay.
If it was him and like Gary Johnson, honestly, put all of them there. I want to put Bernie and Trump in the same stage.
I was just about to say, and you throw in Bernie and Trump. Nobody else, I think, would be as entertaining. Like, I feel like some people take it too seriously. But first of all, Gary doesn't take anything serious. For fun? Yeah, for fun.
Yeah, just Hillary. Just put her there and see what she says. Probably Joe's gonna think it's Carol and be like, "Fuck you, Carol Baskin." It's just, and again, another fantasy of mine. I want to see those fights happen.
That'd be really interesting.
I know.
Okay, so I think we're almost out of, I don't even know where it says if we're out of time, but I definitely know we've been going for almost the 40 minutes. So this was good. This was the very first episode of the Mal and Val Show. This is literally just for funsies because we're hilarious. Yeah, so we'll do another topic next week or different topics. Hopefully some more exciting things will happen other than the coronavirus. Because, I mean, that's all that's interesting. Or not even interesting. That's all that people talk about. So it's kind of like, I guess we got to talk about it. So hopefully next week it'll be something really interesting. Something wild will happen on Twitter. We can discuss that and give our fun opinions.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. Well, thanks for watching. Bye.